One of the core features of Minecraft that keeps players coming back time and time again is just the overall strength of the redstone and farming system in the game. The redstone components that we have are relatively straightforward and simple while being extremely powerful and useful. And there are so many items and blocks in the game that can be farmed in really unique and interesting ways that allow the community to come up with all sorts of creative farms, devices, and stuff of that nature. With all of that said, there are loads of things in the game that are still completely unfarmable. So, the machines data pack adds 18 and counting new machines to the game with the intended goal of making farmable things out of what is normally impossible to farm. And all of these machines need to be made in a machine crafter. Its recipe will be on screen right now. And so you use this as a crafting device. And you'll also notice that there are some rather strange recipe items in the actual recipes as they show up on screen. These are some crafting components that I use to make certain recipes more expensive. So maybe you want this heavy casing that's like made out of multiple iron blocks or whatever. Okay, so what are the 18 machines and what do they do? Well, the machines are, we have a crusher, a washer, a saturator, breaker, a placer, a chunk loader, a sprinkler, an extruder, a compactor, bedrock breaker, oxidizer, trash can, composter, a log stripper, a block rotator, an ender pearl thrower, a farmer, and a mob fan. The crusher can be placed down and then turned on, and it will start spinning. If cobblestone is placed on top of it, we will get gravel after 10 seconds, and then that could be turned into sand. And yeah, you could use it to automate gravel and sand. We can also crush ores with it, such as iron or diamonds, and you will get ore chunks. These ore chunks can be thrown into the washer to be turned into their actual respective ore. So you need both of these machines in tandem to actually get ore tripling. As you can see, I got 3 ingots out of 1 ore. And yes, as you might expect, it works on every ore in the game. No, not you netherite, you're not really an ore. The saturator can saturate different blocks placed on top of it, similar to how the crusher did. The main one is sand into clay, but there's also like dirt into grass, coarse dirt into dirt, stuff like that. But in general, you're probably going to mainly use this for automating clay. The block breaker can do pretty much exactly what you would think. It will break blocks. However, it needs the appropriate tool in the actual GUI in order to break that. So I can break stone right now, but I can't break sand until I put a shovel in, and now I can break sand. And you can see the tool will take durability as that happens. And exactly opposite of that, we have the placer. And this, if there's any specifically a block inside of it, when we power it, it will place that block in front of the placer. The chunk loader, when placed down into the world, will load the chunk it is in, and depending on settings, could also load ones around it. Check the config of the pack. I have a video on the data pack configs. This will help you know exactly how to configure this, because right now it's set up with a lot of configurations. The sprinkler will make crops around it grow faster. This will work on like carrots, potatoes, wheat, as well as like sugarcane, saplings, cacti, stuff like that. They will all grow quicker when this is around. And yes, the effect does stack. So technically you could like spam a bunch of them and grow these crops really quickly. The extruder will take cobblestone from one side, and after a short little animation, we'll place it on the other. But it can be configured by right-clicking the top to output different stone types. So like tuff and calcite, and even like dripstone. So you could farm all of these blocks using like a cobblestone generator on one side, and probably a block breaker on the other. The compactor is an extremely useful device for use at your farms. It can take a 2x2 recipe and convert it into the compacted version. So like stone in this orientation, that would give you stone bricks. Same with like sand would give you sandstone. Quartz would give you quartz blocks. But it can also do a 3x3, so like nuggets into gold, or iron into iron blocks, wheat into hay bales, bone blocks, or bone meal into bone blocks, right? All of these, you could set it up to a farm that's producing any of these materials, and automate the compacting process. Like you could get a piglin farm, get a bunch of gold from it, gold nuggets, right? You'll compress them down into gold ingots and then maybe even compress them again into gold blocks. The mob fan, when placed down into the world, will push mobs in the direction that it's facing. Basically could be used as a replacement for like water streams or whatever in your mob farms. The farmer will automatically harvest crops that are in front of it in a 7x7 radius. So this works on like sugarcane as well as cacti and any of like the carrots, potatoes, beetroot, stuff like that, right? And it will not like dispense them anywhere. They're just going to drop on the ground, so you'll need to figure out the collection system yourself. The pearl thrower, when placed down, will store whichever player placed it. And if you put pearls into it and activate it, that player will get teleported where the pearl lands. And this does work with my More Pearls data pack. If you want to learn more about that pack, check the iCard in the top right. The block rotator will rotate any block that is placed in front of it when it gets powered. And yeah, this works on any block that can be rotated, and like this chest here, it will make sure to store all of the items that are inside of it, even when rotating. The log stripper will automatically strip any logs that are placed directly in front of it without using any durability. This works for any orientation of any log type or high figure stem, whatever. Works for all of them. The composter, when filled all the way up, will give dirt instead of the bone meal that it would normally would. And this can output into a hopper if one is placed below it. You can see it's now in the hopper. The trash can will automatically delete every item that is inside the GUI every 10 seconds. And we just saw that happen. The oxidizer, if there is copper placed above it, will blow a bunch of air at it, making it oxidize a lot faster. Still not a super fast process, but like, I don't know, like 1,000 times faster than if you were to do it in vanilla Minecraft. As you can see, now we have a fully oxidized copper. And finally, we have the Bedrock Breaker. This is a giant device, and if there is bedrock below it, up to 4 blocks down, and you place pearls inside of here, you'll see it shoots a bit of like a dragon laser beam that after burning 10 pearls will destroy this device. There's a bit of rendering issues with it because it's kind of too big for Minecraft, but yeah, that's what the Bedrock Breaker does. All right, those are the 18 machines that are currently in the pack as of me recording this. There might be more by now though, so do me a favor, hit that subscribe button to not miss out on either future updates to the pack or just so you can go back and see other machines that have been added since I made this video. But I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys all in the very next video. Thanks for watching.